In the world of daytime drama, predictability is the enemy. For nearly 6 decades, Days of Our Lives has thrived not just on shocking twists, but on the rhythm of emotional cause and effect. However, a deep dive into the spoilers for the week of May 25 to 29 reveals that head writer Ron Carlivati and his team are deploying a new kind of narrative architecture. This isn't just about who killed the latest villain. It is about the weaponization of grief, the terror of the medical cliffhanger, and the radical act of stillness. This week's spoilers, delivered via the signature ominous video previews, suggest a tonal shift. We are moving from high-octane adventure to psychological siege. Here is the creative breakdown of what makes the upcoming episode cycle a masterclass in suspense. The grieving mother as an unstoppable force. The most creatively bold move this week is the transformation of Amy Choi. Historically, peripheral characters who arrive to claim a body or shed a tear fade into the background. Not this time. When Philip Kuriakis, returning in his uniform, a visual callback to his own military service and mental health struggles, approaches Amy at the Brady pub, the scene is designed to invert our expectations. Philip, usually the chaotic wildcard, plays the role of the diplomat, but the creativity here lies in Amy's refusal of that diplomacy. Her demand to have Holly Jonas prosecuted for manslaughter is not merely a plot point. It is a philosophical challenge to the audience. Salem has always operated on a sliding scale of morality. We forgive murderers like Sammy Brady and Kristen DeMera because we love them. But Amy Choi doesn't love Holly. To Amy, Holly is the girl who was high behind the wheel. The spoiler image of Holly and Tate standing in absolute shock is visually brilliant because it represents the collision of two different realities: the teen drama bubble and the harsh legal world. By forcing Holly to face actual legal consequences, rather than just guilt, the writers are innovating the teen scene trope. They're asking, what happens when a mother's love for her dead child is stronger than the show's need to protect its legacy characters? This is justice as horror, and it makes Mrs. Choi the most dangerous person in Salem right now. The biopsy cliffhanger. As narrative minimalism in an era of CGI explosions and doppelgangers, the most shocking moment of the week is quiet. It happens in a hospital hallway. Chanel Dupree receives a call from Sarah Horton. The dialogue is sparse. Your biopsy results are in. Come to the hospital. Bring Johnny. This is a masterstroke. By having Sarah refuse to give details over the phone, the writers force the viewer into Chanel's body. We don't get the catharsis of a diagnosis. We get the anxiety of the drive. The instruction to bring Johnny is the knife twist. It implies a life-altering diagnosis, cancer, a fertility issue, or a chronic condition that will redefine this young, vibrant couple. Furthermore, the setting matters. Sarah Horton is the messenger. Sarah, who has suffered her own psychotic breaks and the loss of her child, Mickey, is the ideal avatar of medical doom. Her gentle, professional demeanor masks a history of trauma. When Chanel walks into that hospital room, she isn't just facing a test result. She is stepping into a legacy of Salem suffering. This is creativity through subtext. The hospital is a character, and it is never neutral. Brady and Belle's investigation into the chessboard could easily be exposition-heavy filler. However, the spoilers hint at a specific detail that elevates the prop to a starring role. The pawn is missing. In storytelling, the chess motif is often used to signal intelligence, two masterminds playing a game, but Days is flipping that script. Belle notices that something is still off. The missing pawn suggests that our heroes are not the players, they are the pieces. Where is the pawn? A pawn is the weakest piece, but also the one that can become a queen through promotion. Creatively, this missing piece likely points to a character we have dismissed as irrelevant to the larger conspiracy, perhaps a returning ghost, or a manipulated minor character like Wendy or Trip. By obsessing over the micro-detail of the board, the writers reward the long-term viewer who pays attention to the mise-en scene of the Kuriakis mansion. The visual juxtaposition. A kiss versus a grave. The trailer cuts between three images that shouldn't exist in the same show, yet they define the soap opera genre. 1. The cozy smooch. Xander watching Brady and Sarah. Xander catching Brady and Sarah kissing is delicious. Xander has historically been the aggressor, but now he watches from the sidelines. The creativity is in the restraint. Xander doesn't burst in. He watches. This silent observation turns him from a brute into a strategist. Is he hurt? Jealous? Plotting? The ambiguity is the art. 2. The anniversary, Marlena at John's grave. Here is the radical act of stillness. Marlena Evans, the heroine who has died and returned more times than anyone, visits the grave of her true love, John Black. In a genre obsessed with resurrection, Days is committing to the grief of Drake Hogestyn's passing. Marlena standing alone is not a spoiler. It is a memorial. It allows the audience a moment of real catharsis, breaking the fourth wall between the actor's death and the character's absence. The creativity of Days of Our Lives this week lies in its balance. You have the frantic demand for justice, Mrs. Choi. The terrifying medical unknown, Chanel. The intellectual puzzle, the pawn, and the silent, respectful grief, Marlena. By slowing down in some places, the graveside, and accelerating in others, the legal threat to Holly, the show creates a realistic rhythm of trauma. Salem is not a town where one disaster ends before the next begins. It is a pressure cooker where a mother's wail, a biopsy result, and a missing chess piece all occupy the same 37-minute runtime. For fans, the innovation is clear. Days is no longer just about the reveal. It is about the emotional debris left in the wake of the reveal. As we head into the final week of May, remember to watch the video spoilers closely. The dialogue isn't just clues for the plot. It is the sound of a town holding its breath. Will Holly be arrested? Will Chanel's life change forever? And who holds the missing pawn?